Domestic Contradictions, the continuing story of an expensive experiment in building socialist surrealism in one room.
The demographic permutations and combinations of the inner urban lifestyle of the new poor, the middle class, have thrown up a typical room hold. Approximately 8 contradictory comrades are attempting to develop a progressive mode of living together, separately. Episode 10, Chinoiserie, or the Chinese Connection. The pace of communal living is scary. In just one short week, rubbish tins must be forgotten to be put out twice, the making of beds forgotten 7 times, and every day, week in and week out, there must never be milk in the fridge for the morning cuppa. Any wonder this lifestyle can reduce strong women to tears and men to fainting and falling over. As we cast our eye around the room, we see everything as it should be. The washing still on the line from 2 weeks ago. The cobwebs are 6 months old, and Clive's dirty clothes are becoming of interest to science. A place for everything and everything out of place. But at what price? How long can this delicate balance of dirty drains and a free bill of health be maintained?
G'day, Conrad, old son. How are you going?
Oh, Clive. My friend. My old friend.
Hey, not so old, mate. I don't remember the start of the Second World War, remember? Oh, hello, girls. Didn't see you down there scrubbing the floor. Well, you had your backs to us.
Did we, Clive? Look, Grace, tomorrow if you're not doing anything for a few minutes, could you work out how to scrub a corner facing into the room standing up?
Yeah, that means I'll have to rush the ironing. Hello, Clive. Like a scrub?
Hey, is there anything wrong with Conrad? He's just sitting there staring into the middle distance. Doesn't look as though he's even worrying about anything. You all right, Con? Big night tonight, eh, Con? Rubbish night? See, I remembered, didn't I?
It's not your turn tonight, Clive.
Look, it doesn't matter. I'll put him out anyway.
Con really doesn't look well.
How long has he been like that?
He came in just before you. He does look a bit too relaxed for his own good. Con? You all right, Conrad? Grace. Clive. Don't go near him.
Dee, what's wrong?
Don't go near him. He might be having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah?
Oh, no.
Go round the back of him, Clive, and get some blankets off his bed for him. Don't get too near.
Right, Dee. Oh, no, I've got the blankets. Now, just throw them on him. Hey, wait a minute. Nervous breakdowns aren't catching. Here, Con. At least keep warm, mate.
Ah, someone's turned on the air conditioning.
Hey? Hey, he does look a bit off, doesn't he? It might be all that sweet corn and broccoli Nigel's been getting him to eat for breakfast. By the way, where is our resident wallflower?
He's gone to the Cecil Hotel till 10, then he's going to Cecil's.
Conrad's been very depressed lately. The other night he watched the Cisco Kid right through.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, he thought it was the variety Italian style. The other thing is that he's been talking about leaving.
Leaving?
No,
Well,
leaving.
like I said, he's been very depressed. He's tired. He's been working too hard.
What work?
Well, he's been drafting a constitution for that radical art group. What's it called?
Grant?
Yeah, that's right.
that's it.
Government rubles for artists untrained.
Not trained.
Sorry, not trained. But I mean, no political manifesto is more important than mental hygiene, is it?
Well, I can't think of anything to say.
But he can't leave. He's the only one of us who knows the combination of the roster. All those graphs and wheels and pins. Look, I can't do it. Put this pin here, related to the cardboard wheel, intersecting with the coloured graph. See? I can't work it. I've got Grace and me with every night free till next July. And Clive babysitting for 2 years.
Hey?
When did you say Conrad might be leaving, Grace?
Dee, how can you? At a time when Conrad might be taking the last cab out of the rank, you turn your back on him.
Oh, Grace, I'm worried about him. I'm still not sure about going near him, but I'm worried. Really, though, Grace, we ought to study that roster a little more closely.
Look, I just want to say that no matter how many libations I may have been involved in tonight, I will be keeping a very, very wary eye on that roster from now on. 2 years babysitting. Really, Dee?
Chinatown!
Oh!
What was that? Hey! Oh, look,
It was Conrad.
boy, he's really gone troppo. Look, if he does that again to me, I'll turn him in. I mean it.
It's all my fault he's like this and thinking of leaving. We've been arguing a lot lately. Yesterday we started this argument in the lift at the Social Security offices and went up and down 15 times before we realised what was happening. It was terrible. People getting in and out of the lift all the time. Well, when we came out arm in arm, the whole ground floor staff applauded and gave us a bunch of flowers.
I don't believe it. Hey, anyway, don't forget, you two have a vested interest in Conrad staying here.
What do you mean?
Well, who's going to cover me for the rent? Not to mention the gas and electricity.
What are you talking about? You owe me for 3 weeks' rent.
Hey? Oh.
Yeah. Remember?
Look, Dee, look, I'll be getting a cheque definitely tomorrow. So let's see now. Give 4 days for the bank to clear it. Means I could have the 3 weeks' rent for you next Monday. Then I'll only owe you next week's. How does that sound?
Clive!
What? He's standing up.
Conrad!
I think he's trying to speak. Now, careful, Con. Don't strain yourself. Don't strain yourself.
Drinking by Suma Tien,
Hey?
4th century BC China. In a joyful mood, King Wen invited Sun Yu Kun to drink in his palace.
Gone right off.
Sir, how much can you drink before you become intoxicated? Asked the king.
That's it. Call an ambulance, somebody. Anybody?
Your servant may become intoxicated after 1 goblet, or may not become intoxicated after 10 goblets, Kun replied. If you become intoxicated after 1 goblet, how can you possibly drink 10 goblets? Will you explain this inconsistency for me? Yes, sir, Kun replied. When I drink before your majesty, with prosecution attorneys on my left and right, and royal censors at my back, I tremble with such fear that I can drink comfortably only when I'm prostrate on the floor. In such a case, it will not take 1 goblet before I become intoxicated. When my parents invite a man of high position as their guest, with my sleeves rolled up, I bend my knees so as to serve them. From time to time, they give me leftovers with which I toast them and pay them my tribute. Several rounds later, I have drunk about 2 goblets, which are more than enough to make me intoxicated. If, on the other hand, I encounter by accident an old friend whom I've not seen for a long time, and with whom I can exchange affection and reminiscences, I shall not become intoxicated until I have swallowed at least 5 or 6 goblets. And from time to time, there are country gatherings when men and women sit intermingled around the same table and sip their wine unhurriedly and at ease. They can gamble a little if they wish to, and play the pitch-pot game whenever they choose. Each seeks his own partner. There's no inhibition against staring at a beautiful woman or holding her hands. Our feet are interwoven underneath, and cups and dishes are scattered about in total confusion. The hall is dim, since the candles above it have been put out. Eventually our hostess escorts all the guests out, with me as the only exception. I open her silk blouse, and I loosen her skirt, and I smell a faint fragrance. This is the time I am happiest, and I can drink as much as 10 goblets. Well said the king, and he ordered that the all-night drinking which had been previously planned be immediately suspended.
You're falling over.
Oh! He's not having a nervous breakdown. He's drunk.
What's that in his pocket?
Wang Fu, Chinese Riesling.
Is Clive's friend Jono Punchy, or just unable to count? Will Clive get scrubbed? Is it curtains for Conrad? Who put the Benzedrine in Mrs. Murphy's Ovaltine? For the answer to none of these questions, be listening to the next domestic episode of Exciting Contradictions.
It's finished. It's all over now.